So, well, anyways, I'll go ahead and start the introduction. I'm Joshua Martinez. I'm here with Josh Martin. You guys have already seen the video where he was assaulted by Metropolitan Police Department. Josh Martin, go ahead and give us a little bit of your background, who you are, where you're from, and what you've done in your life.
Born Texas, ended up in Nevada, and battle-born. Joined the Army. Deployed, did my due diligence, came back, civilian world, attained my associates in criminal justice, and am now pursuing business.
Right on, right on. So, a lot of you guys saw the video. Josh, your video's out there. A lot of people are seeing it. A lot of people are upset, especially with today how cops, have been abusing not only civilians, but there are also veterans involved, and veterans who are constantly abused. Tell us a little bit about what happened when you first got there, when the police got there, and what happened prior to the police getting there, and why they were even called.
Well, believe it or not, I know I'm the main focus, but there's actually two veterans involved in this case. My friend, who I was actually at the apartment complex to go visit, he actually ended up being evicted from the apartment complex for no cause eviction. Him also being a Army veteran. So they actually fucked with two veterans this time.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll stop.
So what happened before that? Why were the police called? Give us a little bit, because when the video starts, you only see two cops in the car going to a scene.
No, it's just the video you saw.
Right. That's the one everyone else sees.
The one everyone else saw is just the confrontation.
Okay.
But basically what happened was, like I said, I was at an apartment complex to visit another comrade, and what kind of guest goes over empty-handed, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm here, I'll have a blunt roll by the time you get here. All right, cool, bet. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, rolling a blunt, waiting for my comrade's arrival, and I have been known to be called paranoid by a lot of people, but I prefer cautious, aware, and prepared. Despite all that, I let a fat black female in a highlighter green security shirt that read Civil Patrol. I let her sneak up on me, put her face in my car, because that's how focused I wasn't rolling my blunt. I just let her sneak up on me, put her face in my car. She starts yelling at me immediately. You can't have that shit up in here, da, 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 da. And then she immediately runs to the trunk of my car, already on the phone with police, calling 911. I'm just like shocked.
So already calling 911.
Already?
So it's not even 311, she's on the phone.
No.
How long did it take before cops arrived?
Ooh, I'd say probably 5-6 minutes, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
My adrenaline was pumping pretty much already from
the interaction with her.
the disrespect from the Civil Patrol officer.
Right.
I was amazed.
Yeah.
So I'd say about 5 to 6 minutes.
Wow.
And I dismounted my vehicle, locked it. My vehicle is actually the black you see in the back, not the red truck.
Right.
And dismounted my vehicle. I got some distance from my vehicle, as you guys can see, because I started realizing that there was a swarm of cops around me. I was like, all right, so already worried about a confrontation. I was like, let me get some distance. Let me step off my vehicle. And as you guys can see, I got about 8 feet maybe from my vehicle. And I was intercepted, and what you guys didn't see was I was immediately triangulated. Three cops initially tried to just triangulate me and surround me off the gate. Not even, hi, how was your day, what's your name, just tried to surround me. I didn't like that, took a step back, wouldn't give my back the whole time. The last step of me stepping back and not giving them my back obviously set them off. They rushed me in. But I was trying to have a good conversation with the one fair officer on my left, as you guys can see, and this fucking guy over here just starts running his mouth on shit that he doesn't even know right from wrong about. And I'm just amazed, because I know my rights. I make sure that I stay within the laws, because I've been dealt with unconstitutionally before, and I didn't know my rights. So I educated myself, And now I know, I make sure that I operate within the laws, and I make sure that I know. And so the fact that they were all rushing me was just amazing.
And that's what a lot of people noticed too, that they surrounded you right away, and the amount of police that arrived on scene. I mean, you would think that somebody was being murdered. They responded to somebody who was suspected of smoking marijuana, which you weren't. I mean, at the end of the video, a lot of you guys heard a witness yell out from the top, said he wasn't.
Well.
I mean, even in Nevada, I mean, we've looked it up. There's no law that says you can't roll up in your car or outside of your car.
I was actually in the middle of trying to tell him, under my adrenaline pumping so much, I misspoke, and I was going to say that Governor Sandoval said, but it wasn't Governor Sandoval, it was Senator Zuckerblum that said on the night that marijuana became legal that as long as you're not operating, you're not a passenger, you don't intend to operate, your vehicle's parked, so on and so forth, you can smoke weed in your car. I wasn't fucking smoking it. I was rolling a blunt.
Right. You were about to, you were, and that's one thing we also want to get clear. He was not going to smoke and then leave. He was going to go to his friend's house and then smoke.
Also, speaking of all the crimes and everything that was going on, no, I wasn't intending on leaving. I was on Fremont Street, and it was EDC weekend. There was so much crime going on that they could have been worried about, other than dealing with me.
So that's one thing we wanted to clear up, because I know there's a lot of confusion there. And then a lot of people noticed that, I mean, you were punched, and an officer did grab you by the throat. It didn't look like you were resisting at all. They just rushed you, grabbed you, and tried to put your yeah. So
shocked, confused.
I mean, I mean, with the amount. I mean, we've had these discussions before. I mean, I mean, with me as well. We both kind of supported the police back in the day. I mean, there wasn't as much brutality and as much violence going on today. Right.
Yeah. Constitutional cops, thank you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're out there watching
and you support the Constitution and you speak out against bullshit ass officers, thank you.
Yeah. So one thing is, guys, we want people to make sure that people are aware of the brutality going on. There's a lot of brutality. There's a lot of overreach. People want to say, overreach. Let's get rid of, or let's not blame the police, let's blame the legislatures. But it just seems like they're passing the buck. It just seems like our government is just, it seems like they're passing more laws. The bigger government gets, government increases and our liberties decrease. So it's time to change something. Who do we speak to? When we have legislators who are making decisions and they're influenced by what is best for them, not the people, nothing should influence their decision other than what is best for we the people. But it just seems that we get judged and so negatively ridiculed for exposing these type of actions. I mean, he's a veteran. I mean, we've all seen civilians being tortured and locked up for victimless crimes. But I think it's fair to say that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a veteran, an American citizen, an undocumented, you still have human rights, and those rights are protected by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So, Josh Martin, again, we want to thank you for sticking up and standing on your oath. I mean, a lot of people out there don't have that courage. They're afraid because we've been living through by this philosophy, this philosophy that says that once you have a uniform and a badge, you are granted extra rights. And if you wear that badge, you can commit no wrong. You can't do nothing bad. You're forgiven. We just kind of want to make sure that people are aware of their rights and know that when an officer tells you that what you're doing is breaking the law, even if something is on paper, even if there is something written in the library, in the law library somewhere, doesn't mean it's law. And I wanted to read you guys something that's from this book, the Citizens Rule Book. Now it says, the general misconception is that any statute passed by legislatures bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid. So, if we are going to be following unjust laws, unconstitutional laws, and allow our brothers and our veteran heroes to be treated like that, where does it end? How bad do things have to get before you guys get up and stand and do something? I was talking to Josh Martin here earlier about HBC. He wasn't HSBC. He wasn't aware of HSBC. Now, what HSBC is a bank who was caught money laundering for the drug cartel. But yet, everyone who was involved in that money laundering didn't face a day in jail, didn't get a fine, nothing happened. Now, if it was one of us, we would have been in jail for life. Josh Martin here was accused of not just rolling a joint, but smoking it, which he wasn't, and he was choked, slammed, and taken to jail. You got to ask yourself, are we part of that elite? Are there first and second class citizens? How far are they willing to go to pass these laws and to enforce these laws in order to fill these for-profit prisons? That's all their intent is. Right now, we are just products. Right now, we are just nothing but commodities to these people. So for us to stand up, it starts with our First Amendment right. Now, our First Amendment right and our Fourth Amendment and our Fifth Amendment, just like Josh Martin here, he stood his ground and said, no, I will not produce my ID. You do not suspect me of committing a crime. You have not articulated a crime to me. Where's the articulation of facts? Show me what I have done wrong, and I will present my ID. And he was only thrown to the ground, assaulted, and choked. Watch the video, guys. I really hope most of you out there, I mean, for those of you who are blind to this, at least do something and open up your hearts and give it a listen. I see they were kind of lagging here. I don't know if we got good signal. But Josh Martin, is there anything you want to say to the people that are watching right now?
Yeah, on top of what you said about the bank individuals not being held accountable, another side note that I've realized from that is these officers acting outside of any jurisdiction of law or constitution were really tough in handling me. However, I honestly find it real heartbreaking that they were stacked up in the hallway underneath the night of October 1st, underneath that gunman. They were real cowardly all that night, but against me, rolling a blunt in my car, they were real tough, weren't they? Sad.
Ready to rock and roll. Well, guys, we'll go ahead and cut it off there. But I thank you guys for watching. We'll have more from Josh Martin. The charges were rejected. They weren't even dismissed. They were rejected.
Denied.
Of course, they denied them. They didn't not even want to hear the
case.
The judge didn't even come out.
Not up in here.
The judge just handed him the ticket. I was with him. We went to court. I was supposed to be his witness. Boom. They didn't even, right when he walked in, he said his name. They said Josh Martin is here.
I didn't even say my name. Remember, they said my name.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's and you know what? That goes to show who was in the wrong. Who was in the wrong. So guys,
Martinez.
We'll go ahead and sign off. This is Joshua Martinez and Josh Martin. One City Boys stand for freedom. Remember why we do this, guys? God, country, and family.